Hey, welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. I'm Brian. I'm going to give you something a little bit different today, but I'm telling you, you're going to want to stay with me and you're going to want to share this video with everybody you know. Why, Brian? Why would we do that? Because this affects every single American who dares to venture out of their house into the public unknown. Because guys, this is 2025 and cameras are saturating street corners, public buildings. They're all around electric vehicles, smartphones, body cams, banking institutions. Law enforcement has them, and live feed satellite. And there's a good chance that no matter who you are, no matter where you go, somebody is recording you, and they're probably doing it for a specific reason that's not going to work in your favor. So it's really interesting to me that there are all these channels out there that freak out about people in public places recording public buildings and other people out in public, when you can verify that there's probably a half a dozen videos recording them for various purposes. Two of the channels right off the top of my head that do this very well are Kansas City Accountability and Audit Everything, because they specifically record banks, banking institutions, and people got a problem with that. And the reason I'm making this video is you shouldn't have a problem specifically in the arena of recording banking institutions or bank employees, because bank employees are basically subsidized workers almost across the board. Most banks, unless it's some kind of private teachers credit union or some kind of privatized bank, are insured, FDIC insured, which means the Federal Reserve has its hands all over that bank. They control everything going on. And then there's fractional reserve banking, which we won't get into, but it's basically fractional reserve theft. Now, I want to show you something that should really concern all of us about banks. There's two things I want to show you. The first one is the Troubled Asset Relief Program called TARP, in which most large banks, almost all large banks, were bailed out with TARP under the Emergency Economic Stabilization Act of 2008. Remember that? When they leveraged themselves, they took too many risks, they over leveraged themselves, and then they needed a bailout from the American people, and then they were stated as too big to fail. We can't have these lending institutions failing. If they fail, America fails. So America has to bail them out. We have to subsidize them. We have to shovel over boatloads of cash just to keep them afloat, so they can continue ruining our lives through crazy interest rates and usury beyond your imagination. It says in this query right here that approximately $250 billion was committed to stabilize banking institutions through various programs. At the end of the day, when the dust settled, it was nearly $1 trillion bailout for the banking institutions. The lion's share went to the top banks like Bank of America, Citigroup, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and all these guys. But even if your little bank in town wasn't directly affected positively by this subsidy, by this massive wealth transfer, they were benefiting indirectly. So when you got a guy standing outside of a bank with a camera recording, you are a member of the public that has not only the First Amendment right to freedom of the press, you got a right as an American, I don't know, for lack of a better term, tax cattle who was pilfered from, so that that bank could actually survive. Those banking employees, instead of coming outside like we often see and, giving the cameraman a hard way to go, whether it's Kansas City Accountability or Audit Everything or anybody, what they should be doing is coming out and thanking you that you were able to, through your tax dollars, keep them afloat. Instead, they're out there giving you a hard way to go because you're recording them as they are recording you, which is the second thing we're going to get after. But you got to understand, this TARP bailout was a massive wealth redistribution program, taking from the people who are actually producers and giving to the people who are actually harming the producers, the Zio International Banking Cartel under member FDIC. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, not only did they steal your money daily by taking from the TARP bailout, or the crazy usury and the interest rates that they use to underpin their fractional reserve banking fraud, they also engage in surveilling you through a camera system called Flock. Flock Safety is a company known for its automated license plate recognition cameras, or ALPR. They are into video surveillance, gunfire locator. They have this gunfire locator system. They've got these acoustic measuring devices that can geolocate when a shot was fired, download that data to local law enforcement, and get men with guns to go out to that location. Now, I get it. There's an aspect of, hey, you want to reduce crime, don't you? You want to pinpoint and eliminate crime in your neighborhood, don't you? Yeah, but the question is, are you willing to give up essential liberty for politically promised security? And that's what this is, politically promised, state-funded surveillance and security system where you're going to have to give up some liberty so we can keep you safe. And if you give up liberty for politically promised safety that generally never comes, it always works against you, then you deserve neither liberty nor safety nor security. They're a $3.5 billion operation. Let me first show you the crazy technology they employ and the fact that banks are utilizing this technology against you and me. Flock Safety's primary product includes cameras like the Falcon and Sparrow, which captures images of vehicles, read license plates, and log this data along with time and location. It even logs if you have a particular bumper sticker on your car, or if there's a particular dent or some kind of damage on your vehicle, and it downloads all this information, it collates this information, and then it gives it to local law enforcement. This information is compared against databases like the National Crime Information Center to alert law enforcement of matches with vehicles of interest. And this happens at lightning speed. As you're driving, maybe through the parking lot of a bank or whatever, they identify you, identify your license plate, identify the characteristics, the make and model of the vehicle, if you have bumper stickers, any kind of vehicle damage, and it goes to this crime information data center. Gunshot detection and video surveillance. Beyond LPR, Flock Safety offers technology for directing gunshots and video surveillance, aiming to provide comprehensive safety solutions. I wonder if they'll shut that system down if it's a law enforcement agent who's involved in committing the crime where he fires his firearm. The company operates on a subscription model where clients pay for installation, maintenance, software, and data services, and most of their clients are local, state, and federal authorities. This model ensures continuous revenue while providing clients with up-to-date technology. Here's some of the controversy. Flock Safety claims its technology aids in solving a significant percentage of crimes, and that's quite a claim, with some marketing suggesting up to a 70% crime reduction in communities using their systems. However, these claims have faced scrutiny for potential overstatements, with some analysis indicating that the impact might not be as significant or universally beneficial as advertised. And then there's the privacy concerns, of course. The widespread use of ALPR for surveillance has raised privacy issues. Critics argue that Flock Safety system could lead to mass surveillance. Flock Security is mass surveillance. They're putting these cameras on light poles, at traffic stops, on government buildings, in police cars, tracking individuals without their consent. There's also litigation regarding the company's operations without proper licensing in some states. So let me just show you about banking, because my question for them was, tell me about Flock camera systems and tell me if banks use them. Do banks use Flock security systems? I'm going to give you two AI-generated responses, one from Grok from the X platform and the other one from Google. Banks, especially those with physical branches or parking lots, often employ various security measures to protect their assets and customers. Got to protect those assets. Got to protect our customers while we're fleecing the customers through DART bailout programs. While Flock cameras are not as explicitly associated with banks in public discourse, they are with law enforcement. There's evidence suggesting some banks do leverage this technology. Banks might use flock cameras for security purposes, particularly in areas where vehicle access needs monitoring like drive-thrus, parking lots, or ATM areas. This would help in identifying vehicles involved in criminal activities like ATM thefts or drive-by robberies. And they're going to have a problem with you standing on a street corner and filming everything that your eyes can see. Truly the gall of these people. Given that flock systems are designed to work seamlessly with law enforcement, so you've got banking institutions working together with the thin blue line revenue generating thugs. And like I said, they're going to have a problem with you recording on a street corner. Banks utilizing flock cameras could benefit from immediate alerts about suspicious or flagged vehicles, enhancing their security response. And check this out from the AI overview from Google. Yes, banks use flock safety license plate recognition cameras to help prevent crime and protect their reputation. Flock safety cameras capture license plates and other vehicle characteristics such as make, color, and body type. Cameras use vehicle fingerprint technology to help investigators filter searches by vehicle characteristics. The cameras can be used to track down suspects and stolen vehicles. Flock safety cameras have been used to help locate suspects in bank heists. The cameras have helped to mitigate losses and protect the reputation of financial institutions. And check out these two very important points of interest. Some community members have raised concerns about privacy, accuracy, and the system's use as mass government surveillance. There is no way to opt out of having your license plate tracked by flock cameras. Another reason that registration is just basically a slave permission system. So while you may be tempted to feel sorry and sympathize for these welfare banking recipients because, they're a little bit upset and concerned and uncomfortable with a guy on a street corner recording their banking institution, realize that the surveillance technology that they have aimed at you is far more dangerous and concerning than the smartphone you have aimed at them. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. This is really, really getting crazy. The surveillance state apparatus that they're setting up against every single one of us, while they lose their minds over our cameras recording them. Give me a frickin' break. Subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Grab a shirt, become a channel member, and I will see you in the next video.